Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow morning, you grab your coffee, open your investing app, and within seconds, you freeze. Thousands of dollars gone. The same AI stocks that everyone on YouTube, every financial influencer, and even Wall Street analysts called the future, are suddenly crashing. Now, let me ask you something. If that happened tomorrow, would you buy more, or would fear convince you to sell everything? Don't answer too quickly, because your answer could determine whether you build wealth or destroy it. Here's another question. What if I told you the biggest financial opportunity of this decade could also become the biggest investing trap? Sounds impossible, right? Well, 25 years ago, millions of Americans believed the internet would change the world, and they were absolutely right. But here's what almost nobody remembers. Thousands of investors still lost everything, not because the internet failed, but because they bought into the hype instead of understanding the business. Now think about this. Artificial intelligence is changing the world faster than almost any technology we've ever seen. Every week, a new AI breakthrough, a new billion-dollar investment, a new company claiming we're leading the AI revolution. But here's the question almost nobody is asking. Are investors buying the future, or are they buying another bubble? And more importantly, how do you know the difference? Before it's too late, stay with me, because before this video ends, I'm going to show you the warning signs that professional investors watch, the mistakes that cost ordinary people billions of dollars in past market bubbles, and one simple question you should ask yourself before buying any AI stock. Trust me, the last 2 minutes of this video could completely change the way you invest forever. So, let's begin. Artificial intelligence isn't just another trend. It's already changing healthcare, finance, education, manufacturing, even the way this very video was created. There's no question. AI is real, the technology is powerful, and many companies will become much bigger because of it. But here's where investing becomes dangerous. A revolutionary technology doesn't automatically make every stock a great investment. Those are two very different things. History has taught us that lesson again and again and again. Because markets don't crash when technology fails. Markets often crash when expectations become bigger than reality. So let me ask you one more question. If everyone around you believes something is guaranteed to go up, is that confidence, or is that exactly when you should become more careful? Think about it, because the answer might surprise you. In the next part, we'll uncover the biggest warning signs investors are quietly watching right now. And one of them has appeared before almost every major market bubble in modern history. You won't want to miss it. Now let's talk about the warning signs. Not rumors, not social media opinions, but the signals experienced investors pay attention to. The first warning sign is something called extreme optimism. Think about it. When everyone believes something can only go up, people stop asking difficult questions. Instead of asking, is this company making enough money? They ask, how high can this stock go? And that's a dangerous shift, because the stock market doesn't reward excitement forever. Eventually, it rewards results. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever bought something just because everyone else was buying it? Maybe a new phone, a trending cryptocurrency, or even a popular stock. Most of us have. That's called FOMO, the fear of missing out. And FOMO has destroyed more investment portfolios than almost anything else. Here's why. When prices keep rising, people think they're getting richer because they're smart, but sometimes they're simply riding a wave. The real test comes when the wave suddenly changes direction. That's why smart investors don't just ask, how much has this stock gone up? They ask, can this business continue growing fast enough to justify its price? Those are two completely different questions. Now here's the second warning sign. Every company suddenly wants to be called an AI company. Why? Because investors love the words artificial intelligence. But here's something you should always remember. Adding AI to a company's presentation is much easier than building a profitable AI business. Some companies are creating incredible products. Others are simply trying to ride the excitement. The challenge for investors is knowing the difference. So here's another question for you. If two companies both say they're leading the AI revolution, but only one is consistently growing its revenue and profits, which one deserves your investment? The answer sounds obvious, but during periods of market excitement, many people forget it. Now let's talk about something even more important: valuation. Imagine two identical houses on the same street. One costs $500,000, the other costs $5 million. Would you automatically buy the more expensive one? Probably not. You'd ask, why is it so expensive? Stocks work the same way. A fantastic company can still become a bad investment if investors pay far too much for it. That's exactly why experienced investors don't just look at headlines. They look at earnings, cash flow, revenue growth, competition, and whether the business can actually deliver what investors expect, because expectations matter. If investors expect perfection, even a great company can disappoint the market. Now think about this. What happens if an AI company reports strong earnings, but those earnings aren't quite as amazing as investors expected? Sometimes the stock still falls, not because the business failed, but because expectations were simply too high. That's how markets work, and it's one of the biggest lessons every investor eventually learns. So here's my question for you. Are you investing based on facts, or are you investing based on excitement? Take a moment. Really think about that, because in the final part, we're going to answer the biggest question of all. Is this actually another AI bubble? Or is this the beginning of a long-term investing opportunity that could create enormous wealth over the next decade? And more importantly, what should ordinary American investors do starting today? The answer isn't as simple as buy, and it isn't as simple as sell. In fact, it might surprise you. So, is the AI stock bubble about to burst? The honest answer is nobody knows. Not YouTubers, not Wall Street, not even the world's biggest investors. Anyone who tells you they know exactly what will happen is making a promise they simply can't keep. But here's what history does teach us. Revolutionary technologies create incredible opportunities, and incredible opportunities attract enormous excitement. Sometimes, that excitement pushes stock prices far ahead of reality. Eventually, reality catches up. That doesn't mean AI will fail. It means not every company will become the next big winner. Remember the internet. Thousands of companies disappeared, but a handful completely changed the world. The challenge wasn't believing in the internet. The challenge was choosing the right businesses and having the patience to stay invested. Now ask yourself this: 5 years from today, will artificial intelligence be more important or less important than it is now? Most people would probably say more important. If that's true, then the real question isn't, should I invest in AI? The real question is, how can I invest wisely? Here's what smart investors usually focus on. They don't chase headlines. They don't panic during every market drop. And they don't buy a stock just because everyone else is talking about it. Instead, they ask simple questions. Is this company actually making more money? Does it have a real competitive advantage? Can it continue growing over the next 5 or 10 years? And most importantly, if the stock dropped 30% tomorrow, would I still believe in this business? Because if your confidence disappears with the price, maybe you never believed in the business. Only the excitement. That's a powerful difference. And here's something many new investors never realize. Some of the greatest fortunes in history were built during periods when everyone else was afraid. But those investors didn't buy blindly. They did their homework. They stayed patient. And they thought in years, not days. So before you buy your next AI stock, take a deep breath. Ignore the noise. Study the business. Understand the risks. And make a decision based on facts, not fear. Now I want to hear from you. Do you believe AI is creating the greatest investment opportunity of our lifetime? Or do you think we're watching another bubble that could eventually burst? Write your answer in the comments. I'd genuinely love to know what you think. And one final question. If the market opened tomorrow and your favorite AI stock suddenly dropped 40%, would you see it as a disaster or as an opportunity? Think carefully before you answer, because that single answer may reveal what kind of investor you're becoming. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more investing insights, market psychology, and long-term wealth strategies. Until next time, stay curious, stay patient, and always invest with knowledge, not emotion.